Testing. Greetings, everybody on the land and all the sheep at sea.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
4.
5, 6, 7.
What up?
The square root of 64, the square root of 81, the square root of 100.
It's 42, the meaning to life, the universe, and everything.
A 1,000. That's how many miles to your door.
Oh, wow. No?
No. We're done counting because you came in.
I'm counting.
Yeah, we were counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Is that enough counting?
Well, yes, but it's boring if you do it that way.
Oh, okay.
So we went to square roots, and then the answer to the life, the universe, and everything, which is 42. And then 100 miles, which is the number of miles that is to your door. And that's when you came in.
Okay.
Well, I got the proverbial no going back to work till told to go back to work today.
Oh.
Oh, we're getting paid the whole time, but it was just like, don't report until said to. Okay.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, but we lose our 80 cents overnight differential, so almost our dollar differential we lose.
Yeah.
I'll just call it an extended vacation.
There you go.
It could be worse. Some people have lost their jobs right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Lots of people out there are in that boat where they have lost all of their income. Entire industries are shut down. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, players, how are y'all doing this week? How are you hanging in there?
Great.
Doing good.
During the time.
Alive.
That's good. That's what we like to hear. We like to hear that everybody is out there and still hanging in there. It's different, that's for sure. Our team at work has turned to everybody's kind of sharing all their hobby stuff while we're out there. Some of them that are great gourmet cooks, and a couple of them have actually started. They're not so much into RPGs, but they're into board games. So they've started doing like video chats, like with Alexa, where they will play board games with their friends. It's like each of them sets up the board and they move the pieces that the other person moves. So it's kind of like playing long distance chess. So that's kind of cool. It's been fun. So contributed at least to some enjoyment for some of my coworkers. Well, welcome This is Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. I am DM Gallibond. Somewhere in the background, there's a little goblin being tortured to death.
Sorry, that's my kids. I'm going to have to lay some towels in the door of my office.
Well, they're probably going a little stir crazy being at home all the time now, but so that's understandable. And we are here for session 13 of the Dragon of Icespire Peak. And last time we saw our heroes, they had finished up their adventures at the Dragon Barrow. They had rendezvoused once again with their new friend Xanth, the centaur, and they were getting ready to head into the Neverwinter Woods. Now, they have two potential places they can go, and I don't recall whether we settled on which direction you were going first. You could go either to the it looks like we've lost her. Did everybody get that little red box on their Roll20?
They haven't turned on Redbox yet.
Oh no. Okay, now it looks like everybody's come back. It's that thing where Roll20 looks like everybody else is disconnected.
Yeah, it did a little glitch.
And then now everybody is back. Okay, you could either go to the logging camp or you could go to the Circle of Stones and what
Quick question. Did we do a long rest? Did we? What time was it? I can't remember. What time was it when we came out of?
You went in the morning. You probably spent a couple of hours there.
Okay.
You have come back out now. If you need a long rest, you can certainly stay there and do a long rest and then get going. We can hand wave that. You can take that time. But then that would probably mean a choice of either traveling through Neverwinter Woods at night or waiting through the next night and then getting started the next morning. So that's up to you to decide.
Yeah, I don't need a long rest. I was just maybe a short rest at some point before getting close to anything else.
Okay, yeah. We could say that you've taken an hour, and because there was that whole debate about who is going to hang on to the magic items, and that took a while in real time. But we could also say that was sort of a discussion that everybody was having around the while they were taking a long rest or a short rest and recovering hit points and stuff like that before deciding which way to go. So did you all have any preferences? It seems like Xanth, as long as Xanth thinks you're eventually going to go to the Circle of Stones, he will travel with you. He doesn't seem to mind whether you go by and do your delivery at the logging camp first or whether you go with him to the Circle of Stones first. And if you're not going to go to the Circle of Stones, then he will probably head off to a town to try to find some people that will help him.
We are fighting a dragon. Maybe he'll help us out. We help him.
We don't need no help. I got a dragon slayer.
How far away was the Circle of Stones again? It was quite a ways, right? It was way past the logging camp.
Yeah, let me go to the sword.
And
map.
We've still got the supplies and everything with us.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
logging camp's in between us
Yeah.
and these stones.
Yeah, so you're here. The logging camp is here. And then it's technically known as the Circle of Thunder. Oh, I'm sorry, you probably couldn't see that, but that's fine. I will. Oops.
Yeah, we just saw that arrow.
Okay, so let me go to the. And then.
So if we go to the Circle of Thunder, we're going to be bypassing the loggers camp.
Not necessarily. You can go to the loggers camp first, and then to the Circle of Thunder.
Oh, did you say that Xanth was going to? Oh, he was going to leave if we weren't going to help him, or if we were going to the loggers camp first.
No, if you are not going to help him at all, period, nada, no time, he is going to leave and probably head to Neverwinter and try to find people that will help him. But if you tell him you will eventually get to the Circle of Thunder, he does not care whether you go first to the logger camp and then to the Circle of Thunder, or whether you just go to the Circle of Thunder and bypass the logger camp.
All right. I say we help him out. We just hit the loggers camp first.
Well, I hear the lumberjacks are okay. Except for the one that wears the heels.
You think they sleep all night and they work all day?
Except for that one guy, yeah.
Except for that one guy. All right, so any dissent on that?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Then we will trundle off. What's kind of the anything special anybody wants to do as you all start to head off? You're traveling with actually I failed to read the fine print last week. The Barthen has given you a cart that is pulled by an ox named Vincent. So you all are traveling with an ox cart as opposed to a cart pulled by horses. But one ox probably can pull about as much as two riding horses. Not as much as two draft horses, but two riding horses. And so it's pretty much the same. Then in terms of the distance, you're getting started around maybe 10 in the morning. So you can go a good, let's see, what are these hexes? These hexes are, these hexes are 5 miles each. So you can go about 24 miles in a day with a horse-drawn cart. So you could either go to this path that you've heard of that's like here and then go through the woods, or you could go all the way to the river and then follow the river road. But either way, you're probably looking at one more night on the road before you get to the loggers camp.
So we do know that there is a road along the river and one going through the forest?
Yeah, there is a you were told in Phandalin there's a game trail that's a large game trail that has been widened into a road that the loggers use going through the woods. But there's also a caravan route that hugs the river. So that one is more of probably a little bit larger and better maintained road than the track that the loggers would use to go back and forth. But they all tell you in Fandolin, not just Bartham, but other people tell you that that road the loggers use gets plenty of traffic, and so it's pretty much passable. The only time it becomes a real bear is when there's heavy rains. Then it can get kind of muddy in some places.
So what's the weather outlook? Do we see any storms approaching? Any dark clouds?
It's springtime, so here the spring rains are rather gentle. It's not until you get into the summer that you get like the real heavy downpour thunderstorms. And then of course in the winter you get snow, and then that all melts off. But the last snow probably melted 6 weeks ago, and so you're not having a bunch of slush or anything like that from the snow anymore. And you get it maybe rains 2 or 3 days a week, and like I said, it's kind of a soaking gentle rain as opposed to a heavy downpour at this time of year.
Well, I vote we take the loggers trail.
I concur.
Okay.
And if I haven't done so, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself, and then I'm going to have Bandit fly up ahead and just keep an eye out. Let me know if it sees anything suspicious.
Okay. All right. So you head off, let's say after like early afternoon, because you're not starting right at first light. So early afternoon, you've gone about 10 miles. So go ahead and anybody who wants to make me a perception check. And for Bandit, you can do that at advantage, since he has advantage on those.
Let's see.
Oh. Well, Bandit gets a little distracted by seeing some nice juicy rabbits that he notices. But other than that, you guys just see the typical, there's like you might notice from time to time like a deer grazing by the edge of the wood or near a stand of trees. But nothing out of the ordinary, no tracks or no signs of other travelers at this point in time.
Man, totally misclicked. Sorry.
Okay. Yep. So after your meal, you travel on. It's starting to get a little dark by the time you get to the edge of the woods. You do have a little bit of daylight left. If you want to push in, you could probably push a couple of miles into the woods tonight if you wanted to, or you could make camp on the edge of the woods and then start into the woods tomorrow. It's up to you. What does the party wish to do?
I vote go into the woods to get some cover.
I agree.
Does it matter with the hut?
I guess if
For you guys, if you're in the hut, no, it probably doesn't. For Vincent, the ox, you presumably he's not going to be in the hut, because ox is going to do what ox is going to do in the middle of the night, and so he probably is not going to be in there. And it's a matter of whether you want him outside of the woods or inside the woods. Somebody, as Abinadom said, you would have some cover in the woods so that, people coming along wouldn't obviously say, oh, hey, there's a wagon and an ox. Wonder what's going on over there.
Can people see the hut?
The hut is opaque from the outside, whatever color Finn wants it to be, but it is transparent from the inside, so you all can see out.
Right. So unless it was camouflaged and it was just out on the plains, people would see this something just sitting on the ground, some kind of hut thing. Okay.
Yeah. And that brings up another point. If it's in the trees, there's more shade, so less likely to have like the glint of the moon off of the shell of the hut. Whatever.
I guess we're going in.
Okay. So you go on into the woods, and you find a suitable little. It's not exactly a clearing, but it's a place where the trees are a little less thick and there's not so much undergrowth. Nice spot for a camp. It's maybe 10 yards off of the main road that you all are on. When you guys get about, we'll just say when you get about here. Yeah, when you get about here. So it makes a nice place to camp. And I know you all are using the hut, but are you going to set any watches nonetheless, or just...
I'll take watch.
I'll meditate and take the first two or last two, whichever's.
And I'll have Bandit up in a high tree, just looking out towards from the direction of the loggers' camp.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so did I hear Dorzaphir saying he's on first watch, or was that
I said I'll take a watch. L want to take the first watch, but I'll take a watch.
Okay, L is on the first watch.
I can take the first two. I only need 4 hours.
Yeah, same with me. I don't need...
I'll take... Well, God, if the elves want to take the watches...
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't affect it. We don't need to sleep, so...
Okay. So, L, you're on first watch. Go ahead and roll me, during your watch, roll me a perception check. Okay.
I'm good at this.
Your watch passes uneventfully. Well, I guess actually I should rewind. I just kind of pushed us ahead. Did anybody want to do anything while we're getting the camp ready or before everybody turns in? Or do we just want to get through the night and get on with the adventure?
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. So L's watch passes uneventfully. Then Abinadom. He wakes you up around the middle of the night, or you sense that he's ready for his meditation. Yours is done. And you all swap places. And go ahead, Abinadom, and roll me a perception check, if you will. And you can also roll one at advantage for Bandit.
All right, this is for me.
Okay.
And then this will be for Bandit.
Ooh. Okay. It's not long after you have started your watch. You think you see something from inside the dome of the hut. And about as you start trying to see whether you're actually seeing something or whether your brain is playing tricks on you, or perhaps the shadows are playing tricks, you sense a bandit, and he sends mental images of, or tries to communicate, 4 legs, big tooth.
Okay, I'm gonna now look through Bandit's eyes.
Okay.
To see if I can determine what it is.
Okay. You do that. You look through Bandit's eyes, and you can see standing not too terribly close, but not terribly far away from where the hut and the cart are set up. You can see what looks like a wild boar. And it's kind of a largish wild boar. And it appears to be sniffing the air and kind of looking in the direction of the cart and the hut. It stands there for a few moments, and Bandit can tell, has enough light from the shadowy moonlight to see that after it looks there for a few moments, its lip kind of curls in what's almost like a snarl. It doesn't make any sound, but then after that, it just sort of lays down on its belly, and it just keeps an intent watch towards the cart and the hut.
So can I tell if it's, eyeing our...
Well, as far as you know, there's nothing else that it would be looking at in that direction other than the cart and the hut.
All right. I'm gonna tap L, and I'm gonna tell him, hey, it looks like there's a wild boar out here wanting to snack on our ox. You want to help me take care of it?
Yeah, you got it. What's your plan?
I think we just we go out there. I'll see if I can web it, and then we'll just take it out.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna. How far away from the hut is it from us?
Looks like it's about 20 yards away from the hut. So let me.
So I can cast web at 60 feet.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so. All right. Then we are going to bring back an old favorite then. Since.
Or I might just take it out with the longbow. I don't know. Boars, wild boars, they can't be that powerful. What do you think, Gail? You think we can take it out with a couple long shots?
I think so.
Okay. You all might remember this map. We're gonna use it not for the fight against the Manticore, but for other purposes. So let's go. I guess the main people who are out are Dorzaphir and Abinadom, right? Which, if you guys, I know Abinadom, you've updated your token. If you want to, you can pull your new token out.
It's going to be L and Abinadom.
Oh, L and Abinadom. Okay. So let's go. Let me grab L. Oops. Big head L.
No, I've never heard of a boar eating meat. Are you sure he's looking at the eye?
There we go. And then I'm going to go over here and I will get a boar. Okay. And okay, let's go see. Okay, let me make sure that I. Okay, so yeah, let's Okay. That's 100 plus 58. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. So, I'm just saying, when you guys step out of the hut, that's the distance. Now, you guys are both elves, so you both have dark vision, and I believe your dark vision is up to 60 feet. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so you would, when you get within 60 feet of it, you would be able to see it. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of ground cover here, and it actually doesn't seem to be trying to, put itself behind bushes or behind the trunk of a tree or anything like that. It just is sort of watching the hut.
All right.
Elle was raised in the streets, but I feel like that kind of behavior would strike anybody as odd, would it?
Sorry, what was that?
I don't think I've ever seen a boar act that way.
Elle, go ahead and give me a nature check. Like you say, you're a city boy. For what passes as city boy in a fantasy medieval setting. Well, you don't know. You've seen dogs lie down in the street. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know any difference. I just think it's a curious boar that's catching some scent, and it's getting a little close. So,
Let's get a little closer. You cast that web, and I'll have arrows right after.
well, I'm thinking I don't need to waste web. I'm thinking we'll just try to take it out. You think you want me to web it? I can also ray of frost it to slow it down, but that's going to light up the area.
I think we should try to take it quietly, if so.
Yeah, so I was going to just try and shoot it with my longbow. I can't move my character, though. Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, I can't move it.
Okay, then it's... Where are we? Okay, this and this and that and that, and then we're gonna do
Hyza's missing, and we seem to have one of the lycanthropes with us.
Okay.
All right, so I get... Actually, I don't even need to move since I'm decided to not do Ray of Frost. So I'm going to shoot my longbow at it.
I'm going to watch him and kind of try to shoot at the exact same time, and then follow with the second arrow right after.
Okay. So, Abinadom, you shot with your longbow. 13. 13 is exactly what you need to hit it. So
I'm not an overachiever.
Yeah. So you deal 10 points of damage to it, and it squeals.
Oh, crap.
And it makes a horrible squealing sound and leaps to its feet. Elle, your nat 20 is going to hit, and your 14 will also hit as well. Okay, so yeah, excellent. So 8 and 4 is 12. 3, that's 15. And then 6. So 21. All right. And it is time for initiative.
Oh, shit.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me remove all the turns before you roll initiative. Okay, now you can roll initiative. And I will roll initiative for... Okay.
Let's see. Why is my initiative not working?
And that's going to be
Oh, that's why.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So, that was pretty good. All right. So that's. And anybody else who wants to can roll initiative right now. Although I would say that nobody else, none of the other characters know that anything is going on until or unless when we get to your turn, I'll let you make perception checks unless one of the other two shouts out a cry of warning. So, all right. Okay, did we get Dorzaphir? Yes, we did. So I'll go. Okay. And did we get initiative from Finn yet? Well, Finn actually, as we learned last week, he has to stay in the. I mean, he could do stuff, but he has to stay in the hut, or else the hut will drop as soon as he steps out of it. So, all right. So I'll go ahead and put that in descending order. And yeah, you have shot this thing 3 times, and with your third arrow or your second arrow, L, you sense that it's bloodied, but it took Abinadom's 1 arrow, your crit, and another arrow from you to get it bloodied.
This is tough. Yeah, I'm gonna turn my head towards the dome and give a loud whistle, just in case, and let off 2 more shots. Or does that take part of my action or no?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can't. Now I can. You said you were going to turn and then you cut out. At least
I heard him.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to turn towards the dome and let out a loud whistle just in case.
Okay.
And then let off 2 more shots if I still have my full action.
Yep, because it's your turn.
Sounds good. Here we go.
Okay, the 12 will be a miss. The 16 will be a hit for 7. All right. Well, they the boar will let out another growl and will dart. Let's see. 4. Yeah. Instead of being a foundation, this is going to be a tree. Darts over behind a tree. There's like some scrub. So let me just put a thing there for you guys. I'll do it. Alt. Okay, so if for L and Abinadom, at this point, the 2 of you do not have line of sight because it's behind the tree from your perspective. And for the rest of you, if you do not have dark vision, it is night, so you cannot see it. But basically, that's all it does. Is it runs over there on its turn, and it hides behind that tree. Hyza, L just made a loud whistle. You're not sure what that means. All you know is it's the middle of the night. You haven't gotten your full rest yet.
I'll groan and turn over and say, "Just shut up!" And then just turn one over, just.
Okay. All right. That's certainly permissible.
Go back to sleep, or at least try to.
Dorzaphir, you heard a loud whistle from L outside, and then Hyza right next to you just cried, "Shut up!"
I sit straight up with a knife. I pull out from underneath my pillow or my head, and I go, "What? Excuse me, what? What's going on?" So I run outside the tent, knife and dagger in hand, running out, seeing what's going on, I guess.
Okay.
I have the goggles of night vision.
Okay. Presuming you sleep lying down, it's half of your normal movement to get up. So that's 15 feet. So you can get 15 feet. If you want to run further than that, you have to use your whole round action to run. So I don't know whether you were...
And I'll use my bonus action to dash.
Okay. All right. Do you have... Oh, you do have the night vision goggles. Okay. So...
Yes.
When you get outside the hut, you can see what looks like a bloodied shape of an animal of some kind behind a tree over there. Basically, you look at Abinadom and L. They're looking that direction. You look in that direction. Oh, there's an animal over there. It looks bloodied. Is that arrow sticking out of it? So, yeah. So from your perspective, you can just see the edge of it.
So, yeah. So they're 35 feet, 35. If I sidestep, that'd be my whole action. But if I go 5, 10, 15, so what? 15 feet of movement, so that puts me at 15 plus 45 feet.
15 plus. Whatever your normal movement. Most characters get 30 feet. You have to double check your character sheet and see what you get.
Yeah, it's 30 feet, but you said half that to get up, so 15. Then if I use a dash action, that's a...
Oh, yeah. Total of 45 feet. Okay.
Right, yeah, because a full action would put me at 30 with movement, half for 15, plus a full dash action to put me at 45 feet.
Okay.
I'm going to move right here.
Okay. Yeah, turn the ruler tool off, and then you can move.
That should be 45 feet.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, and I'll end my turn and I already used my bonus action, so that's in my turn right there.
Okay. All right. And then Finn. Goodness. All kinds of noise in the middle of the night. Don't these people know anything about sleeping?
Finn startles, wakes up and said, Ben says, "No, you shut up." looks across. I don't think he can see anything. Can he see anything? He sees people.
No.
He sees Gorrim going toward it, I think.
Yeah, you can probably see Gorrim, stomping off in that direction. Or actually, at this point, Gorrim would actually still be in the tent. So, because it's not his turn yet, he wouldn't have been able to move yet. So, but Gorrim is probably responding. What? If not to L, then to Hyza and to Dorzaphir getting up and running out. You would Finn be able to see Dorzaphir heading out into the night.
Yeah. Okay, they're chasing something. Bam, bam, go take care of that. Take care of that, bro.
We got it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
All right.
They don't have any good stuff anyway.
Abinadom, you are up. Ignore the fence, ignore the other ruins.
Yeah. So if I just 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does that
Oh yeah, now you,
I can
have
I can see it now, right?
well, yeah, 50 feet. Yep, it's within range of your dark vision.
All right. Well, since he already squealed and made a lot of noise, I'm going to go ahead and I'll cast. Let's see. That was close enough, I believe. Whoops. I'll go ahead and cast Ray of Frost.
Okay. Oh, yeah, nice. For 11 points of damage. And as we know, that gives him the snail because he now loses 10 feet of movement. Still up, but a rime of ice just coats the boar's flanks, and it squeals and sort of tries to shake off that, but you can tell that it got hurt by that pretty good.
And I'll just stay there.
Okay. Gorrim.
Yes.
You are up, sir. Everybody's yelling from outside. Your companions are yelling. Dorzaphir ran off. You just heard the sound of the elf's spell going off. He just did something.
Gorrim comes outside and says, "What the hell's going on? What are y'all?"
Fresh meat. It's a boar.
You killing a boar? For what reason? We've got plenty of ration.
It was looking at the ox funny.
Crazy wizard. He goes back inside and goes back to sleep.
You're the one who runs my party.
Don't need to kill an innocent animal.
Okay, L, you are up.
Do I have a line of sight?
From there, no, but you can. You can move either to your north or to the south, and get an angle.
Are these 5 feet squares?
Yep, they're 5 foot squares.
It's 35, my full movement. How about now?
Oh yeah.
I'll
can
do
see.
my usual.
Okay. Oh, 2 hits. 5 and 10, 15. Okay, your first arrow sinks into it. With your second arrow, how would you like to kill this boar?
Even though there's no one here to see it, I do my typical thing, put it right between the eyes.
Okay. You
I see
pull. you pull back your bow, you let fly an arrow. There's this sound of bone crunching as the arrow goes into its skull, and it drops. And then something weird happens because the corpse seems to change shape.
More than a boar, more than a boar, it's more than a boar.
I let out a loud whistle, twice as loud as the one before.
Let's see. I've got a sending stone, right? With Dorzaphir.
Yeah, but I'm not that far from you.
No, that's true. So I just yell, "Get up! We need some help." More than a boar.
Up. I'm over here.
Well, I'm yelling to the other guys that rolled over and went back to sleep. Oh, that's right. You came out, duh.
I ran out like a bat out of hell.
Okay, and where there was a boar, you now see the corpse of a half-orc with arrows sticking out of it.
Oh. So it's dead. Magical half-orc. You said half-orc?
Yep, half-orc.
And he stopped moving? He's clearly dead? Or do we not know that?
Yep, it has stopped moving. It appears to be an ex-orc.
This is an ex-orc. It's not pining.
All right, Abinadom's going to get up close and check it out.
Okay.
I want to give him some cover. I'm going to also scan around and see if I see any
I was going
eyeballs
to roll a
gleaming in the dark.
check to see if I knew anything about it and just rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, and I was going to do our Arcana check too, see if I could determine.
Okay. Well, for you guys, who did the nature check? Dorzaphir. Okay. Yeah, something about, and I'm saying this because you did a nature check, and same thing for you, Abinadom, because you did an Arcana check. Gosh, there's something familiar about this. You could have sworn you've heard something. You remember hearing something at some point about half-orcs and boars. But the straight check by itself is not really going to do anything. Xanth, and it's interesting that, see, this is what happens when they create a creature and then change the stats halfway through the edition. Xanth comes out after hearing all the disturbance, and he comes over and he looks at it. He says, "Oh," and he looks at the two of you with a knowing expression.
And you said we'd heard something about half-orcs, and what was the other thing you said?
Boars.
Oh, boars. Half-orcs and boars. What do you think, Xanth? Have you seen anything like this?
This looks like the half-orcs who attacked my people at the circle of stone. What was this half-orc doing out here all by itself?
That's the question. He was just hiding in the bush up there, looking towards our way and looking towards our ox. So Elle and I decided to try and take it out.
That is curious, because I have only seen these half-orcs fight with a group, and generally they fight alongside boars. Did you see a boar?
Just this one. He was a boar before he died.
Something to put on a tombstone.
And Xanth looks down at the corpse and looks up at you, and then looks over at Dorzaphir with an expression that says, he doesn't say these words out loud, but the expression on his face says, "Are your elf's eyes okay?" Is he seeing things? He says, a half-orc? That was a boar? Do you mean a shapeshifter?
Appears so.
Maybe lycanthropy?
Oh. Oh dear.
Wouldn't be unheard of. It ain't like we saw were-rats one time, so were-boar?
Yeah, he backs up a few feet, almost as if he expects that whatever it is might be contagious. And he says, "Oh, if it is a lycanthrope, it's very dangerous. You should burn the corpse."
Well, I'm going to check it out.
Okay. So you do, and you see that this is this half-orc has absolutely nothing with him. Actually, with her. It's a female. She does not have any armor, does not have any weapons, is not wearing any clothing. The only thing that she possesses are a number of arrow wounds and several arrows sticking out of her. That went in the wrong way, at least from her perspective.
Okay, then. Guess we won't know what the intentions were.
And Xanth looks at you and says, "I told you, it was half-orcs that looked like this one, except with armor and weapons, of course, that attacked my people."
Well, this one could have been a scout, maybe, or someone trying to get away. Who knows? And I signaled a bandit to go out and do a circle watch just to see if it sees any other creature stirring about.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check with advantage. Okay, yeah, he does a wide circle and he sees some night creatures. There are actually, there are some daytime creatures that are sleeping, like deer, and then there are some other night creatures that are stalking or hunting. Most of them seem to have their healthy fear of humans, and if they were heading in the direction of your camp, they are, going around it. There are several others that clearly were awakened by whatever the disturbance was, all the yelling, and they're kind of looking in the direction of where the fight was, and their ears are kind of doing that thing where it's kind of trying to figure out, okay, I thought I heard something, but I don't hear it. Which direction was that coming from? But they're just all sort of very intently looking in that direction, as if getting ready to run away from something, not as if getting ready to, attack anything.
Other than the arrow wounds on the half-orc female, are there any other distinguishing characteristics, scars, or features that would make this one stand apart or help us, identify this person at a later time if needed?
You do notice one thing. You do notice on the neck and the breastbone, just below the neck, there is a tattoo. It's kind of a crudely made tattoo, and it looks like the head and snout of a boar, and the ears are sort of going up on the shoulders on either side of her neck, and the snout is sort of facing down towards her navel. And then there's some very pronounced tusks that are tattooed in the snout as well.
Okay.
And so that, whatever that's all about.
What do you think, guys? Should we go back to bed? Should we burn it?
Burn it.
Okay.
I was going to say, where's Hyza? She could look at it.
She decided to roll over and go back to sleep unless somebody's going to go back and drag her out of...
I got prestidigitation. I'll light I'll after pulling her onto some sticks and putting a little campfire thing together, I'll light it and let it burn.
Okay. That happens. Okay. Now, because this was the middle of the night, means a couple of things. Gorrim, are you just going to go back to sleep?
He'll take a watch, probably the last watch, or the middle watch, so the caster can get a full night's rest.
Okay.
Well, this is the second watch already, right? Elle did the 4 hours, and I did this is my 4 hour. So.
Yeah, so Abinadom already has had a full rest for him. If you guys delay like another hour getting up, then that means Elle will be able to get a full rest as well. What I'm trying to figure out, if I know Dorzaphir is screwed, but if Gorrim goes back to sleep, and if Finn goes back to sleep, and if Hyza goes back to sleep, you all can get the benefits of a long rest. But because Dorzaphir, you got up in the middle of the night and participated in combat, that basically disrupts your long rest. So you wouldn't recover, like if you've used any hit dice to regain hit points, you wouldn't recover those. And if you have any spell slots that recover on a long rest, you would not recover those. But you definitely can use hit dice to recover your hit points. Things like that.
I'm good. I haven't used any spells or.
Okay.
I'm fine. So, if anything, he's just a little tired.
Yeah, and it's on one night with an interruption like that doesn't bother you, but if you start to do that repeatedly, then it does start to have mechanical effects like exhaustion, but you're not at that point yet because it's just one night's rest that has been disrupted. So you're fine otherwise. All right, okay, so good.
Good God.
All right, Abinadom, you torch the corpse. I guess everybody else heads back to the. Actually, Xanth will stay out there with you, kind of partly standing guard and partly just making sure that the fire doesn't get out of control and cause problems.
Okay. And I've got Bandit in a tree close by, just kind of keeping its ears listening.
Okay. So maybe a total of an hour from the time that you notice that Abinadom to the time that the corpse is all burned to ash and everybody heads back into the hut, and you all are fine. Nothing else exciting happens during the night, and you get up the next morning. Anything that anybody wants to do before you leave the site of this encounter?
Hey, why did you guys burn the boar?
We didn't want to attract any other animals.
Yeah.
Xanth will look at Abinadom. He seems to be considering something. And then he turns to Finn and he says, "It was not a boar."
Who's not a boar?
They say it was a boar when they saw it, but after it died, it changed shape to a half-orc.
That's true.
Similar to the half-orcs that attacked my people.
And I tell the story. I saw a boar. I got Elle up. We attacked it. Once it died, it turned into a half-orc, and we noticed a tattoo on it was a female half-orc, and it had a tattoo of a boar's head with its ears and snout on its neck and shoulder blade area. Breastbone. Neck and breastbone. And then I burned it. Do you know anything about half-orcs turning into boars?
Checking for a couple of things here. One is actually tribalism and sociology. I'm thinking maybe religion here. Nope, nothing there. As far as the actual lycanthrope, that's arcana, isn't it?
Lycanthropy is a disease.
True.
So that could be either nature or medicine. What does your lore as a lore bard, does that give you advantage on anything. Like if it gives you an advantage on Arcana, I'll let you use that. Because I don't want to, I don't want to screw you out of your character's strengths. Let me just double check and see what the.
I didn't copy down anything like that. It's not like they never saw an advantage on a knowledge check kind of a deal.
Okay. Yeah, what he gets advantage on is history. All right, so
He rolled a 21 on Arcana.
yeah. I mean, nothing specifically about half-orcs with an Arcana check. I mean, you know that there is lycanthropy, and you know that there are were-boars as well as werewolves as well as were-rats, like you guys have fought.
Right.
As well, so you know that were-boars are a thing, but the information that you've been given, putting it all together, nothing makes any particular sense with an Arcana check.
He said maybe one thing. Didn't the were-rats have tattoos?
They may well have.
I think I remember something like that. In which case, Finn, the thing I was actually checking for was that there was a tribal identity indicated by the tattoos.
Oh, yeah, the tattoos do seem to connote probably a member of some kind of if not a tribe, maybe some order within a tribe, or some special designation, especially with the fact that it was a tattoo of a boar and this person could turn into a boar. That seems pretty significant. But again, there's nothing specific that you haven't. There's none of the songs or stories that you are in your repertoire that go over things like that.
And so he just says, look, looks like a tribe where some or all of them are lycanthropes again. Looks like the were-rat thing.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Although she was all alone. So we didn't...
it's either a scout or a
usually
deserter.
hunt in packs.
Yeah, I was thinking possibly a scout or possibly a runaway. But unfortunately, we don't know for sure.
And you opened fire first again, didn't you, bro?
We did. I let you sleep, a nice long sleep.
Abs, you one dangerous dude. Not like I knew her. I ain't that upset about it, but just keep it cool, bro.
It was a boar when I shot at it.
Oh, it was a boar at that point.
Yeah, we weren't just shooting a half orc. We were shooting a boar that looked like it wanted to attack our ox. So
you're a hunter. Oh, you thought it
it?
wanted to attack the ox.
Yes.
Do boars eat oxes?
I don't know.
Ponders? He does not know. Interesting.
Has anybody come up with a good nature check so far? Yeah, Dorzaphir did. Dorzaphir, you...
Boars or oxes?
Dorzaphir, when Finn asks if boars eat oxes, your first thought is, no, they don't. And then, because you're kind of thinking about it, you go, oh, but they are very territorial. So, yeah, I mean, clearly it wasn't a natural boar, but a natural boar that thought that its territory was being invaded might, in fact, be on the less than friendly side.
But a boar is smaller than an ox.
Yeah, but size usually doesn't matter to them.
Boars could be nasty.
They can be very, very mean. All right. So, the rest of the night passes uneventfully, unless either uneventfully or with the rest of the night passing in discussion, as people try to. Okay, nobody gets any sleep because Ivy and Finn start arguing, and then they start snapping at anybody that does anything around them. So if anybody wants any sleep for the rest of the night, they'll have to go outside the hut. And
Oh, I thought we were traveling already. On my bed.
okay.
Game. Oops.
Okay, all right. So everybody gets the rest of their sleep. We get up in the morning, and after the breakfast, head off. There's no corpse to examine because the body was burned. Does anybody want to do anything, like I said, before we leave this camp area, or do we just want to press on?
Moving right along.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So you head along and you go another 4 hours or so. And you begin to come to the area of the loggers' camp. Now I'm going to let me put your tokens in place. Whoops. Dadgummit. So there's that. Blank. Then we'll take this. Then we'll take this. We'll take this. Oops. There's Dorzaphir. There's Abinadom. And there's Gorrim. Okay. All right. So, I have you all on the map, so I will move us over. As you all are approaching the loggers camp. So let me go ahead and okay. The logging camp spreads along the south shore of the river, where a dozen tents are ranged on a sandy beach. Near a dock, stands a cabin with logs stacked under an awning. Older cabins close by have been torn down to leave only stone chimneys and foundations. A grim silence hangs over the camp, and you see no one around.
What we come for here again?
You came to deliver supplies to the loggers.
And I was muted when I said, but I could just cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Seems pretty quiet for a loggers camp. You'd think there'd be a little bit more activity going on.
Well, as always, when we go places, something just isn't right.
Are there any clear signs of any sort of disturbances anywhere?
No. No, there's not.
Okay, where are the tools?
The tools for the loggers. Well, if you guys don't mind the map bouncing around a little bit as I point out a couple of things. The cabin is over here, and there's logs stacked in this area here underneath. That dotted line represents an awning. And then obviously it's black because it's closed up. You can't see inside. There are several places where logs have been worked, and you do see some tools laid neatly by where people have been working on them. You do see evidence that there's, like with these tents, a couple of them look like maybe one corner of them was tied down and has kind of come loose and is flapping a little bit in the breeze. One or two of them are sagging a little bit. The evidence of the campfire is cold. In both of these. Doesn't look like there's been a campfire there in a day or two, maybe. And then everything else is very quiet.
What we
Now,
got
this
here
was
is
a
an
full-
evacuation.
This was a full-scale logging camp, right? Where's everybody at?
Should we go check it out? Do you guys want to check out these tents first, or should we go to the cabin first?
We're by the water. Check the cabin first, because that'll be command. That's going to tell us what we need to know. The place itself was retreated from, but not disassembled. They left in a hurry, but in an organized fashion. Either that or something got them all at once, but we ain't seen the bodies anywhere.
Dorzaphir, you want to go check out the cabin? Make it visible?
Sure.
Do some recon?
Sure, why not? That's what I'm used for.
All right. Okay, so a couple of things look like they have happened from what I can see. Looks like Gorrim has moved ahead. Gorrim, when you get here to this square, I need you to roll a dexterity check, please.
Oh, God.
Third crit fail on the road.
Okay. Well, as Gorrim moves ahead, it looks like he's going to go check out these tents. As he walks over there, there is suddenly this disturbance. It looks like a great claw juts up out of the ground and topples Gorrim over on his back. So you were prone for failing that check. And bursting out of the ground is this enormous insect-like creature that looks like it's about ready to take a bite out of the dwarf. And it is time for initiative.
Oh, Lord.
Don't eat that. I know where it's been.
I can't select my token.
Yeah, I can't select my
Okay. Let me. I don't know why some of your tokens save correctly and some of them don't. Okay, I'm just gonna double check everybody's. No.
That's why we're all safe, because we couldn't move our tokens. Gorrim was the only one who can move.
Oops.
Because I was going to go check out the cabin because he cast invisibility on me.
Okay. Okay, then we're going to do this.
Oh,
Okay, then. Oh gosh. Also giving you guys, you should be able to adjust your name on your token if you want to. Okay, so what is...
Wow, this is some... Whoa, there we go.
Okay, so now... We're going to... Okay, he goes on a 7. Okay. Okay. All right. See, who am I missing? I've got Hyza, Gorrim, Abinadom, Dorzaphir, L, and Finn. I think we have everybody, right?
Yep.
Okay. L. Yeah, you see this giant insect creature burst out of the ground, and it looks like it's getting ready to attack Gorrim. Gorrim, from where you are, you can see this thing has huge mandibles, and you can see that dripping from its mandibles is like is some kind of fluid. Maybe it's the thing's saliva, but it definitely looks hungry. So, Elle, what would you like to do?
I'm going to start off with my movement here. 35 feet up to here, get some high ground. And this thing is definitely threatening.
Oh, it's definitely threatening Gorrim.
All right, I'll take a couple shots at it.
Uh, 14. Hey, a 14 is exactly what you need to hit this thing. So go ahead. Both of those will hit. You get 12 points from the first one.
That 6 was an extra roll in the first one. Sorry.
Okay. So 12 and 17. is 29. Okay, that bloodies it with those 2 shots. So that was a move and an action. Gorrim, you are up. This thing looks okay. That's going to be a hit. 13 points of damage. Gorrim, how would you like to kill this monstrosity?
It cuts its bloody head off.
Okay. Yeah, Gorrim stands up, whack, and its head and mouth parts just drop onto the ground, and the thing's body just crumples over. You can see that it's about 10 feet long, has 6 legs, a segmented body, clearly a predatory insect creature of some kind. All right, and it appears to be dead. Abinadom, what would you like to do?
It appears to be dead. Well, so I rolled a stealth right before battle. Where is it? A 15. So I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, if you're trying to move stealthily, I think is it
half?
Is it half movement? So it's like 15.
Oh, maybe it's half.
Now the obvious enemy is dead, so I don't know whether.
I'm just going to disregard the stealth then.
Okay, all right.
I'm just going to move here and just take a look and see if I can tell anything more than what was already said about this creature from this distance, but I don't think I can.
Okay, make a nature check for me. Because these might have come up in your... Oh, yeah. These definitely came up in your magic school. This is an ankeg. Ankegs typically dwell in forested areas, usually in warmer climates, but sometimes in temperate climates. The ones that live in climates like this typically hibernate for the winter. So this one has probably just woken from hibernation rather recently, and they tend to be very hungry for the first month or so after they come out of hibernation, and attracted to where they, find plentiful game, which can basically be anything that's smaller than them, up to and including horses and oxen and other livestock that are on the ground. They burrow, they attack from underground, and the thing that makes them interesting to wizards is that they have acid glands that are right behind their mandibles. And they can shoot a jet of acid, but if you can find those glands full, you can sort of take that acid and use it either in the preparation of vials of acid that you could use, as weapons, or acids that you might use in arcane rituals or preparations in a wizard's lab. So there's that. And then with your 24, you also know that armorers like them because the chitin that forms their shell can be turned into kind of a lightweight armor that's a little bit better than leather armor. And it's a little bit stiffer than leather armor, so it doesn't have the same kind of sneaking around advantages that leather does for the classes that like to wear it, but it can save a lot of weight for a class that can wear something like chain or something, because it's about half the weight of chainmail with about the same armor capability once it's cured and worked by a armor smith.
Okay, and I have two questions. Do I know if they travel in packs or are they solitary animals? Or
You know that it is not unheard of, especially in mating season, which is in the spring. You know it's not unheard of to find more of them where there are one of them.
And second question, are there ways to tell where one has burrowed into the ground? Any telltale signs?
Usually not where they burrow, because they can burrow up to 40 feet underground. They, can have deep burrows, but you can usually tell where they have, they burst the soil like this one did. If you came back in a few days, you could probably tell that one had burst up through the ground here, or it would look maybe like a small tree got uprooted or something like that.
Okay.
All
right. I share what you just said with the rest of the party.
Okay.
And say we might want to look out at spring mating season. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more of these in this area. And then I mentioned how I want to go try and get some of the acid and armor from the creature.
Don't collect yet.
Yeah, I'm not collecting now, but we'll want to collect it when we can, when it's safe.
First thing is check out those tents now. Yep.
I'm gonna go check out the cabin.
Wait,
okay.
We just had a bunch pop out of the ground.
Yep. So there are.
That didn't take long.
Yeah. So there's one here. There's one here.
Is it?
And there's one up here by the cabin.
Dorzaphir is still invisible.
Yeah, I know.
So they all burst out of the ground, and for them, that's like getting up from being prone. So they only have half of their movement. So this guy goes 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. He moves there. And this one goes 5, 10, 15. So he moves up here. And then this one goes 5, 10, 15. And he comes down here. And that's pretty much all they can do on their turn. Finn, you're up. There's 3 big bloody insect monsters.
Interesting situation. You know what? I don't have anything particular, but I have something specific. Where is that rod of pyrotechnics that I have? It's in there somewhere. Where is that? There it is. Band of light is accompanied by a crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet away. The light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see what happens here. Loud sounds and light effects. Hold it together, make an effect. Maybe that exactly. Harmless. You can see it 60 feet away. Crackling noise that can bear it up to 300 feet away. So this thing is loud.
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to make a loud sound at him. And this has got to be like, it doesn't really have a range.
Yeah, anything within 300 feet can hear it, so...
Yeah,
clearly...
but there's also a light effect.
Yeah.
So how far can the light effect be out? That's what I'm saying.
Did you just...
Create a harmless burst of multicolored light at a point you can see up to 60 feet away. Okay. So,
okay. So, yeah.
So here we go here. Okay.
Yeah, you could put it right there next to... Yeah, you could put it right there next to Gorrim, and it might look like Gorrim was making this sound, and if anything was moving towards him, that might startle them away from him.
That's the idea.
Okay. All right. So... Bam!
No. Bang!
Okay. And let me just double check something. Okay. Yeah, we're going to roll for these guys. We're going to see. There's no more morale in D&D, but I'm going to make it like a wisdom. Do they know that they should be scared by this? Okay. One of them is startled and looks like it recoils. The other one just looks hungry. This one, I need to make one more roll, don't I? Because there's another one that can see that. Yeah, two of them look hungry. One of them looks like it's afraid. Two of them just look hungry. Basically, is its wisdom roll high enough to know I should be scared of this? Only 1 out of 3. Okay, Dorzaphir.
Yes.
You are up, sir.
I'm still invisible.
And you will be until you
Cast a spell or make a shot.
Yeah, attack or cast a spell. Now, right now,
or if I stop concentrating.
Yeah.
True.
Right now, for your benefit, you don't have any living enemies that are within 5 feet of an ally. So, now if you did attack, you would have advantage because you're invisible and they don't know where the attack is coming from until you attack. So, because you have advantage, you would get sneak attack damage.
True.
So if you do like a range attack, you could do that.
First, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. Then I'm going to... How far is that one from me? 50 feet. Let's see. That'll be 2d10 if it hits, but only sneak attack is 3d6. So let's actually hit it with a crossbow this time. I haven't used that in a while.
Okay.
I'm going to hit that guy.
Okay.
Aha!
Oh yeah, that hits.
Plus 14 damage. Woohoo!
6 and 14, so that's 20 points of damage. Nice. And it is bloodied. And yeah, it's hungry. Now it's mad too.
Bonus action hide.
Okay.
I use 25 feet of my movement wherever I can go, and 5 feet would be wonderful.
Yeah, it's off to the side of the road here, I guess.
That'll work. Let me roll for that though for you. Oh,
okay.
24. Sorry, I didn't,
Nice.
yeah,
No, that's
24.
all right. They're both good. Okay. Hyza, you are up.
I is a ghost.
I shall scooch myself up 25 feet until there, and I will cast Bless on L, Dorzaphir, and Abinadom.
Okay. So L gets the little angel wings. Abinadom gets the little angel wings. And Dorzaphir gets the little angel wings. Whoops. All right.
Then I shall move 5 more feet up that way.
Okay.
And ta-da!
L. You are up, and you get to add a D4 to your attack rolls or saving throws for the next minute, as long as Hyza remains concentrating.
Perfect. How's my line of sight to this guy above me?
You are on a ramp. It is down below you.
Oh,
so
perfect.
yeah,
Okay.
you can see it. You can see the injured one, and you can see these two over here as well. So you have line of sight to all of them.
All right. I'll take my movement 5, 10, 15 right here. I'll take a shot at the guy down below, right next to me.
Okay. All right.
And a 4, so 16.
Okay, yes. 16 will hit. For 12 points of damage. How would you like to kill? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. No, 12 is not going to be enough to kill it. Sorry.
I guess I got to shoot him again.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it 12 plus 4? He rolled the 4.
The
That was
4
to
was
attack.
for the attack. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't. The bless doesn't come into effect on damage rolls. So, yep, that'll hit. And 10 points. Okay, now, how would you like to kill this guy?
Shoot him in the head twice. I Robin Hood the first arrow with the second, right in his forehead.
Okay. Boom, boom. And then it just sort of slumps to the ground and is dead.
Everything I do, I do it for.
Are you going to move or anything? Are you?
I'll sit right here. I'm good.
Okay. Gorrim, you are up, sir.
All right, Gorm's gonna run his little happy behindy over here and give this one a smackiola.
Okay. $17, that'll hit. 12 will miss. 10 points of damage. Okay.
And he's gonna go ahead and use his action surge and smack it again.
Okay. Sounds good. That'll hit. Okay. 10 more points of damage. It is now bloodied. Okay. Anything else, Gorm?
Nope, that's in his turn.
Okay. Abinadom, you are up, sir.
All right, I'm going to. Can't. All right, I'm going to move 5, 10.
These creatures are large enough that the tents do not block your line of sight, so you all can see them in and around the tents.
Okay.
Or across the tents.
And I'll move, and then I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and ray of frost. Let's see, 60 feet. I think I got. Whoops. Oh, I don't. I'll just pull out my bow and shoot the one by Gorrim.
Okay. Oh, 14, exactly what you need to hit.
And
Okay.
let's see. And then I'll just stay there.
Okay. All right. The ant kegs. Okay. This one over here is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And they are both going to attempt to bite Gorrim. So that's 2 bites. Bite number 1 is a miss. Bite number 2. Ooh, what's Gorrim's AC? Is it 19?
19.
Ooh, okay. Gorrim, your hair just stays out of the way, and your beard just stays out of the way as these things snap at the air, and the air actually seems to shake as these things snap shut. You get the sense that these are very, very powerful jaws, and it would probably hurt a lot if they actually bit you. And as they bite, you can see some of this fluid, whatever this fluid is, oozing off of the base of the mandibles. And so you get a sense that if it did bite you, whatever that is would probably get on you as well. And these things look ugly and they smell even worse. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not fun things to be there next to. Good practice with the sword though. Finn, you're up.
Things that are not people against bards. Does this even work? Target can hear you, though it need not understand you, unless it's here on a wisdom saving throw. Take 1d4 and yeah.
Let me double check something with this. I could be thinking of another bard spell that I'm gonna go read the full spell description in the. Yeah, okay, so. Okay. Okay. I think what I'm thinking of is the other one. What's the other one? The one that's a slightly more powerful than this, first level. But yeah, you're fine.
Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant Whispers. I think that's. Let me just pull that up while I'm thinking of it. No. Okay. All right. Neither one of them have the qualifier that say, hey, if you want to cast any spells that say something about an effect on creatures with below a certain intelligence threshold, let me know. So yeah, this will work. They need to do their save. What is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC 15.
Okay, so it's wisdom save.
Only targets one.
Yeah. Well, whichever one you targeted fails. So are you targeting the one that's injured or the one that's not injured?
The one that's not injured.
Okay. So it fails. So go ahead and roll your damage. And I think you get 2d4 now because you're 5th level.
Okay. Take that. Boom.
All right. Not bloodied, but you got its attention. It seems to recoil and shake its head like something unpleasant happened to it.
Finn is playing mind games with Oncogs.
Were you gonna move at all, Finn, or?
If I had to get there, which I might. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So we're looking at that.
Okay. Dorzaphir, you're up, sir.
Yes. Okay, the one there is dead. I'm right here. There's 2 over here. Give me a sec. If I get right here, would I have line of sight on them?
Yeah. Like I said, you can see him over the tents. And yeah, you can see him over the tents.
I'm going to. Is he within 5 feet? Is that Gorrim? Yeah, he's within 5.
Oh yeah. He's within 5 feet of both of them. So either one of them.
I'm going to hit with my crossbow again.
The bloodied one or the not bloodied one?
Not bloodied one.
Okay.
Ooh, wait.
Right.
I'm blessed, though.
Yep. So go ahead and roll
D4.
your D4. Add a D4 to that attack roll.
4.
Okay, so that's a 17. That'll hit. And that does a total of 13 points of damage. Okay. Still not quite bloodied, but it's getting there. All
Bonus
right.
action, I'm going to hide.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll your...
Bingo.
Okay. And Hyza.
I shall
Okay,
move
so
30 feet up and then cast Guiding Bolt on the top one.
this one here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your ranged spell attack. Okay, no, you have to make a ranged spell attack. You don't just roll damage. Let's see, for Hyza.
Pulling up correctly.
Okay, let's do this. Hyza has, what does Hyza have as her range spell attack bonus? Maybe that is on your spell sheet. Okay, spell attack bonus is 7, so it's a d20 plus 7.
So roll a d20 plus 7?
Do a d20 plus 7. You can do that either. You can do that with a die roller if you want to.
13.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna miss. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately that misses. It flashes past the creature.
Oh,
So that was a move and an action.
Yep.
Okay. Elle, you are up. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a double shot at this guy here.
Okay, this one here.
He hasn't been hit yet, right?
No, he has been hit. They both have been hit. This one is bloodied. This one is not bloodied.
Okay, I'll take a shot at the guy up top.
Okay. Okay, that's a hit. 11. Okay, and now he is bloodied.
And he can take another one.
Okay, and how would you like to kill this one?
I attempt to shoot right through the guiding bolt and then realize that it missed. So
Okay.
doesn't really make sense, but I don't know. It's only so many ways you can kill with an arrow.
You're aiming off of her guiding bolt, and when you realize that that's wrong, you just put a little bit of English on the arrow, and it goes in like a pitcher throwing a curveball. Just goes in and smacks right into his head, and he falls over dead.
Perfect.
All right, Gorrim, the one behind you just fell dead after it took two more arrows to the head. Okay, excellent. And yep, both of them hit. And how do you want to kill this one?
Just cut it in half.
Okay. Gorrim just looks right into the thing's eyes, brings his axe down, and instead of cutting the head off, just splits the mandibles right down the middle. And his axe cuts through, and for about 2 or 3 feet back into the body of the creature, the thing just starts to peel apart. Almost like you're slicing a banana the long way instead of cutting it in half, bisecting it, and it just sort of peels back and dies, and all kinds of viscera and blood and everything flows all over Gorrim from this thing as it collapses and dies on the ground. And everything falls quiet. In fact, everybody can go ahead and make me a perception check if you want to. And if Bandit is still out there, he can make a perception check too.
Yeah, Bandit is with us still.
Hyza, you're riveted on the battle. Dorzaphir, you're riveted on the battle. Abinadom, you're riveted on the battle. Finn, you notice the sound of the water in the river rippling. Yeah, but Bandit. You suddenly, Abinadom, get an urgent sensation from Bandit. And the sensation is something large, something scary, something flying, and something that is white.
Hey guys, I think there's a white dragon coming close, and I cast Misty mirror image on myself.
Out over the river, indeed, you see a young white dragon that appears to be gliding down towards this camp. Perhaps, I don't know, some brilliant flash of light and loud noise got its attention.
If we're lucky, maybe it just eat these corpses.
And this sounds like a great place to take a break. So we will go ahead and take let's take a 10-minute break. I realized we were almost at break time when we started the encounter, and I just didn't want to bust that up with the fight. So let's take 10 minutes. We'll be back at that'll be about 20 after. So take until 20 after, and we'll be back. I'll put some music on. All right, there we go. Now, everybody back from break?
Yeah, I'm here.
Aye.
Okay. Well, the dragon clearly seems interested in what is going on here and is making for this encampment. Gorrim said and went ahead and moved his token. He is rushing towards the dragon. I guess he is intent on fighting if it gets close enough, so we should probably go ahead and have everybody roll initiative. I did clear the initiative because it's a new combat.
Why did
So,
Gorrim not hide in the trees?
Because Bam Bam don't play that. He almost stands a chance if he fights on his terms instead of mine. Might actually be worth doing.
Okay. We have L, Hyza, Abinadom, Finn, Gorrim.
Yes.
We are missing Dorzaphir.
Testing 1, 2.
Yep. Dorzaphir, I don't think I have an initiative for you yet.
There you go.
Okay, 14. All right. Wonderful. I don't think we have any duplicates, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Abinadom, you actually are first. You have 135 feet to
Yes,
that dragon.
He is very far away, and he's up in the air too, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna worry about the triangulation and trying to do that. It's a 2-dimensional map, unfortunately, so we'll just use.
All right. Well, I'm gonna lob a fireball at him.
Okay, one of your own.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast fireball. I've got 150 feet range, so.
Okay. Then he has a dexterity save in his future. Which, dexterity is not his Not his strongest suit. Now, wait a minute. Oh my God. I want everybody to take a look at this. Abinadom needs to go and murder his dice. 8d6, he rolled a total of 17.
And your dice rolled
included,
8.
that included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 natural ones on the d6s. 5 out of his 8 d6s are natural ones.
That sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
Waste of a spell.
But the dragon's dexterity also sucks. So he takes all of that. This ball of fire erupts around the dragon, and you hear this half shriek, half roar, and the dragon immediately, he doesn't look like he's coming towards the land anymore. He looks like he wants to get out of dodge, but he can't do that until his turn comes around, so we're going to keep going. Dorzaphir.
Well, I was also going to move into the trees after I cast that. So
okay, so fine, you move.
Yeah.
That doesn't change what the dragon does. Dorzaphir, between your movement, do you have anything that can reach a ranged attack that can reach that far?
You said he's 135 feet from who?
Well, he was 135 feet from where Abinadom was. You need to figure out how far he is from you, and then whether you need to move before you do something, or whether you
He's 145 feet away from me, roughly.
Okay.
I need to move 30 feet would put me within more than 120 feet. I can hit him with Firebolt.
Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and do that. All right.
There we go. 30 feet. That put me at 115 feet from him.
Okay.
I take and hit him with Firebolt.
Now, is that a dex save for me or an attack roll for you?
You hurl a mode of fire at a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On hit, it takes 1d10.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your attack roll.
Ooh. Wait, am I still blessed? No, this is over. That was over.
Well, I don't know. Hyza, are you still concentrating? Because that was just like 2 or 3 rounds. So if she's still concentrating, you're still blessed. So go ahead and roll a
14.
Yeah, so total of 14. Yeah, that's not quite going to be good enough. So your firebolt sails wide.
Then I'm going to bonus action hide because Lord knows I don't want the thing coming at me.
Okay. All right. L.
Is this the dragon that killed our loved ones by chance?
It looks like the same one. It's about the same size.
I'm going to give it everything I got. 2 shots, action surge, and 2 more.
Okay. So first we'll... Okay, first is a 19. That's a hit. For 11 points of damage. Oh!
That 2, though.
Yeah. So that's another 12. 25, that'll hit. Oh, man, and another crit. 2 crits. Wow.
Makes up for all my ones.
Okay. Yeah, that. Wait, let me see. I've got to do something real quick here. Wasn't expecting to need this. Oh. With that last arrow, dragon is bloodied.
Whoa!
Finn,
Holy cow.
well, two crits. 2 crits from a range focused fighter. There's nothing to sneeze at. Finn, what would you like to do?
I have to be in the right position. So Finn can see that the guy is thinking about turning around.
Well, actually, you guys can't. You can see that he reacted with, it was a kind of a shrieking roar, and then he just got pelted with arrows that seemed to really wound it pretty badly. It took a spell from one of your other party members.
Yeah, so I haven't got anything that causes a lot of damage right now, but I got something special.
Okay.
I'm going to get in its head.
Okay.
Walk here, because as far as I can go. That of that.
Okay. Phantasmal Force, that's a 60-foot range. So you're 110 feet away from
I
it.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, man, I can make it appear, though. Gonna make it appear? No, I can't. I can't do anything.
No. It's a mind of a creature within range. So, yeah. Unfortunately.
Nope, that's that.
Okay. And then the white dragon goes, okay, screw that. No dinner is worth that. And wheels around. And how far can it fly? Oh, yeah, it flies 80 feet. It just goes right off of the map and is gone.
My bow's got 600 range.
It's going to take its full. It'll take its full. So I will let you.
It don't want none of you, Chris.
Yeah. So let's see. It can go 160 feet. You are at what? What was your range?
I was at 125.
So 125 and 160, that's less than 600, but it's definitely going to be at disadvantage. I'll go ahead and if anybody else has a longbow out, I will let anybody who wants to take shots at it with disadvantage.
Come on, double crit.
So, yeah, Gorrim, you don't have any range things you can do to it, right? And you have your... So 18,
Not really.
or actually a 20, that'll hit. So you do a little bit more damage to it. So that's the first shot. You going to take both shots?
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting. This is the double crit right here. I'm calling it. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to roll twice. That's a miss. Oh.
Gorrim, okay. Yeah, you have disadvantage. You're probably not going to get much worse than a 6. So we'll call that your low roll. Yeah. Just Chris hits it once, and that's it. or L hits it once. And Gorrim, you're a crossbow bolt. You're so excited, trying to pull your crossbow out. You fire a little bit before you would, and then you realize that you're shaking, and you're not shaking from fear, but you're just shaking from adrenaline of, there it was, it got so close. Dragon ran away.
That was a close one.
At least we scared it off.
With that,
Gorm pounds his chest with his sword and says, "It didn't want none of this sword or the mighty dwarven arm, coward."
Didn't it seem kind of small?
well, it's a young adult dragon, or not. It's a young white dragon. By the size categories of creatures, it is considered a large creature, which means that token space, it takes up 2 by 2. You as a medium creature, you take up a 1 by 1 space, so you occupy 1 square. A large creature occupies 4 squares. As they get to be adults and then ancient, they get to be larger size categories and get to be even bigger. But a young dragon is smallish especially in 5th edition when you compare it to the size of dragons in other editions. There was one edition, I want to say it was 2nd edition, where there was something like 12 different age categories. And
their damage increased based on age category.
Yeah, and I think their size increased with every age category too. So it started off as like a medium creature, the size of a person, and then it just kept getting larger and larger and larger with every age category. In this edition, I think you have wormling, young, and then adult, and then ancient. So you only have 4 size categories and age categories in this edition. 5e streamline a lot of stuff. Okay, well, that.
Oh, one more thing.
Go ahead.
I will get in its mind.
Okay, all right. Bam. And yes, that seems to hasten it. If anything could hasten it away even more, that seems to. And then as it flies away, I'm just going to give this to you all. You realize that with the exception of the sound of the river, the forest is dead silent. And then as the dragon flies higher and sort of gets into the distance, you gradually begin to hear like some insects start to, insect noise starts up again. And then after a bit, tentatively, bird noise starts up again. And
So when it's silent, I guess that tells us something.
All right.
We need to check out this cabin and see if they pulled them under the tents.
All right. So
I can go with that.
Let me go look at the back to the camp again.
Since I'm over by the by these tents, I'm just gonna take a look at these tents over here.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, actually, well, yeah. We'll get those creatures later.
Okay. With the bedrolls here.
Sorry, I lost audio there for a sec. What was that before bedrolls?
You see something kind of odd with the bedrolls. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. Oh, yeah, that's good enough. You realize that the bedrolls have been partially dissolved by some kind of acid. And you furthermore notice that there are drag marks that looks like something got dragged out of these bedrolls and back towards the bush.
From the bushes that I just came from, kind of?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, there's some drag marks heading off this direction, and there are drag marks heading off this direction as well.
All right, looks like these creatures attacked our loggers. We've got evidence of acid and drag marks.
Yeah, but they're really neat for big, dumb creatures. I think a lot more damage would have been done.
Okay, Finn, as you get over here, you can just see that under the edge of the shade of these bushes, it looks like something made a hole and burrowed, and whatever was being dragged got dragged down into the hole with it.
There it is.
These guys are stealthy buggers.
All right, but this still looks like more of an organized retreat. It's just a little bit too neat for a bunch of big dumb creatures to be running through here rampant.
From my studies, do I know if these ankegs can do this kind of stuff?
Yeah, you know that ankegs are, in some cultures, they are called land crocodiles. And the reason that they're called land crocodiles is that when they hunt on the surface, they will then oftentimes pull their victims under the ground. And partly that is to disorient their victims, and partly that's to suffocate them.
Not a fun way to go.
Yeah, and it's similar to the fact that crocodiles will do a combination of what's called a death roll, where they will attack things and roll over, and then after they knock their prey senseless, they will take it down under the water and drown it, so that and then consume it under the water. And so the ankegs apparently they do that on a regular basis, fairly frequently. They'll try to drag a victim underground.
I yell over to Finn, hey, I'm pretty sure it was these creatures that did it.
Yeah, we know that. But I'm just thinking that they didn't get all the people, because if they got all the people, the place would have been devastated. They got some, looks to me like they got some of the people, and then some of the people got out, or maybe are in the cabin.
Yeah, well, let's keep looking.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, Dorzaphir, over there by the fireplace where you are, it's, you don't, there's no smoke coming out of the chimney.
I didn't know where the door was on this place.
Okay, the door is right here.
Oh, okay. Then I would walk around to the door.
Okay. You walk around to the door, and I think I can go ahead and...
I was trying to listen, put my ear to the door.
Okay. You can... And you... Okay, when you do, you don't hear anything inside.
Okay, I'm just... Is the door locked? Do I need to unlock it, or is it just wiggle the handle?
No. The door is not locked.
Okay, I walk in.
Okay, you enter, and this room is cluttered with logging equipment, including saws, leather harnesses for climbing trees and such. And there's a rough hole in the floor where it looks like something punched up through the floorboards from below. And some of the floorboards around this hole show damage of acid. There's also clearly dried blood on the floorboards there, but no signs of any bodies.
I know what bloody got them. Woo! So, can I go check this door right here?
Yeah, you sure can. You go over there and you try the door, and it's locked.
I'm gonna pick it.
Okay. I'm gonna say your investigation check was high enough when you jiggle the handle and see that it's locked. You can hear from beyond the door. You can hear a sharp intake of breath, like somebody startled.
It's okay. It's okay. Who's back there?
And you hear a voice. Who is it? Who are you?
My name is Dorzaphir. I'm here with my party. We were here to resupply the camp. We killed all those crazy bug-like monsters that were coming up out of the ground. If you would like to come out of the door, we can have a civilized conversation.
You killed them. You killed them.
As many as we could find, yes. I pull out my wire. I think I'm close to L. I can send L a message. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
All right.
Oh yeah, he's within range.
Yeah.
So I put on a little copper wire. I whisper, "L, there's live fuck in this building. Alert everyone."
Give him another shrill whistle, loud as I can. Kind of gesture towards the cabin for whoever pays attention.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, inside the cabin, who sent you?
That's a good question. I just forgot. Who was it from town?
It was Barthen. Barthen from Barthen's Provisions.
Bothan's Provisions sent us.
Oh, you're from Barthen. You're from Barthen. Oh.
Yes, we have your supplies.
Oh, thank the gods. Thank the gods. And you can hear footsteps moving closer to the door. And then you hear this straining grunt. And you hear something heavy being moved from behind the door. And then you hear there's like some heavy breathing. And then you hear something else heavy being moved from behind the door. And then you hear some more heavy breathing. And then you hear a third heavy thing being moved from behind the door. And then finally the door handle starts to jiggle. And it gets unlocked. And within, you see a gentleman. And he says, oh my God. Did you find anyone else? Is anyone else left alive?
Abinadom, have you found anyone else? I see him walking behind me.
We've checked out some of the tents and it doesn't look good. I haven't checked the other tent section yet.
Oh, they're dead. They're dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Those creatures, they just burst from the ground in the night. I ran to the door of the cabin and I screamed, come inside, come inside. And I just heard them screaming in their tents. And several did come running. And as they came in the door, I ran back to my quarters here in the office. And I heard a crash. And one of those things was coming up through the floor. And it grabbed somebody. And I slammed the door and locked it. I hid.
Well, cowardice isn't a bad thing sometimes. Especially when there's man-eating monsters coming at you. Nobody's going to fault you for that, my friend.
Oh.
Well, he's saying that I looked down. Can I see anything down that hole? Pretty tight.
Not really. It's just dark. It looks like it goes into the
ground. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks more like a natural burrowed type tunnel than a tunnel that somebody dug.
Right.
You know, it's not like a mining tunnel where it's cribbed and, you know.
Okay. Do you know how many creatures you saw or how many creatures came up, or were you inside this building the whole time?
I saw one or two crashing into the tents outside, and then just the one here. How many did you encounter?
We killed 4.
Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
I'm going to go out and see what we found from the other tents.
That's where Finn is No.
Yeah, Finn, you see similar acid damage, but it looks like actually doesn't look like all the tents were hit. But the ones where there is damage, it looks like they came up through the tent and then they just like went right back down underneath the tent, dragging whatever they grabbed with them. So the other ones over here dragged, the ones to the south seemed to drag their victims away. The ones by the river just came up from underneath and then pulled it back down. Maybe it has something to do with them being so close to the water and not wanting to drag it into the water.
Well, I don't think those 4 ate like 20 people. All in one gulp.
Let me see how many people were at the camp.
Well, after the guy gets finished blubbering and, it turns feeling sorry for himself and then allowing himself to feel smart because he managed to survive, he will tell you that there were a total of 12 people, not counting himself. So he was the 13th. He's the overseer. There were 12 loggers that were here at the camp. He also says that there was that there's a boat that they keep at the dock.
Yeah, and I was walking over to check out the dock
Yeah. You get down to the end of the dock and you see that there are ropes that probably were tied to a boat that very hastily got cut and are just still dangling from the last 2 pilings at the end. So it looks like somebody jumped into the boat and got the hell out of here in a hurry.
There's Americanized retreat.
So I make my way back to the building.
Okay. If you take about an hour or so to look around, you can tell that these creatures probably grabbed somewhere between 4 and 6 people.
That's better.
Yeah, and so, when he says there was a boat, you don't know how big that boat was, but perhaps maybe as many as 6 got away. Maybe somebody just took off through the woods and ran away on foot. Who knows? Maybe they survived and maybe they didn't. But
does Finn have?
So I tell him that the boat's gone. Looks like some got away.
He actually feels better about that.
Yeah, and we found no bodies around, so it looks like it's just us and you here for now.
All right, somebody give him a chance. Somebody who knows how to do smoke signals.
I whisper to Abinadom, yeah, it's because the monsters made quick work of the bodies. What?
I can do a shower of sparks. That's about it.
No, we need a regular. Let's see if I know how to do this. I absolutely do not know how to do this.
Okay. The gentleman will eventually, after he gets calmed down, he will identify himself as Tibor Wester. He is the relative of Harbinwester, the town master at Vandalin. That is the overseer of this camp.
That makes a whole lot more sense now.
And he says that the river runs all the way to Neverwinter, and he says if he had to flee in the boat, he probably would just make all the way for Neverwinter. So, if you all talk about trying to send signals to see if anybody's still in the area, he would doubt that anybody is if they took the boat. They probably just went as far away as they could.
Well, we brought you some supplies.
What? We don't need supplies, dude. We need to deliver this dude somewhere now.
What would you like to do?
Well, with no boat and no workers, I suppose I need to go back to Phandalin. I will have to file a report with the company that runs the logging camp, explain what happened, and see what they wish to do. If they wish to hire more loggers and resettle the camp, we will come back. If not, then, well, I suppose it will be on to my next assignment.
Well, we were going to journey a little farther from here, so you want to take this oxen wagon and head back yourself? Or do you want to come with us?
He looks, and then he sees the centaur, and he goes, "Did my brother send that with you from Phandalin?"
No.
Who is he? Why is he with you?
That is another matter.
And he looks, and now clearly he understands that you all are not simple, you're not simply a delivery company. You're adventurers. He says, "You're adventurers, aren't you?"
I flash him the token.
Why would my brother send adventurers to deliver supplies here? What's going on?
With our luck and everywhere we've been, don't ask.
I'm always asking that question, bro. Everybody seems to know more about what's going on than they claim to.
Well, I don't. All I know is that we got attacked by monsters, and if you all didn't know there were monsters here, there must be some reason my brother would send adventurers out on a simple errand like this.
Well, I got maybe one word for you.
Yes.
Mirror?
Mirror? Where's my mirror? No, I... Gone. Emphasis on the gone.
I was about to say that.
Dragon?
Gone. No, gone. We took Area M2.
Did you not hear the large fireball that went off over the river just a little while ago?
I heard something shriek and a muffled roar. No, you were not fighting a dragon right here, were you?
Well, it kind of sucked, but for a minute there, yeah.
Like I said, we brought you an oxen and a wagon.
You all adventurers, you are going after this creature?
Well, no, I don't got a boat.
Tell me.
Dorzaphir puts his face in his palm.
Well, I am going back to Phandalin. And if any of you are smart, I will welcome an escort from someone proficient at arms to go back with me. But if you all are going to chase this dragon, then I will just chance the roads on my own.
Well, if you wait a day or two, we could swing back here and take you back to Phandalin.
Wait here, where these monsters attacked. What if there are more of them? What if they come back?
Then hide in your little closet like you were doing just a little while ago.
Damn, I didn't think Abinadom to be so cold.
You are a cold-blooded killer, bro.
No,
I know.
I'm going back to Phandalin. And if none of you come with me, I will tell my brother that you all went and got yourselves killed chasing after some dragon.
Gorrim holds up his dragon slayer sword and says, Toothbreaker here will fix any dragon we come across. This blade is specially enchanted to kill dragons.
Well, that's all well and good for you, Master Dwarf, but I'm a man of business, not a man of...
Then maybe we can make a business arrangement. I like gold and gems, you know.
Well, you did deliver supplies.
We did save your life.
Okay.
Have you been paid for this delivery, or do you need a receipt to get payment for the delivery?
No, guys, hold on. He's already scared of everything. So let's hold on a second. Bro, we can't go after the dragon because we don't have a boat. But we're going on another little side quest for a minute there. Probably better if you come along with for the little side quest. Then we're going to go home. Are we going to home or are we going to Neverwinter, guys?
Finn, we don't need a boat.
He flew over the water.
And Xanth walks up about this time, and Xanth looks at the overseer and says, yes, these adventurers are coming with me. I and my kin were driven out of our homes not by a dragon, but by half-orcs who can apparently turn themselves into boars. You are welcome to come with as we go deal with them. And the overseer, he just kind of puts his hands on it, and his knees just sort of start to wobble, and he just sort of sinks down, and he just starts sobbing, and that's where we'll end for tonight.
Oh, jeez. He's going to cry all week.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Clearly, you guys have not run into the most courageous person in the world. But as somebody mentioned, given the fact who he's related to,
that's no surprise.
That may not be a surprise.
I'm tempted to just do a little. Never mind. I was going to do like a minor illusion to scare him even more, but no, he's. So I won't.
I just keep looking over at Finn, shaking my head and putting my face in my palm, like, boat. Really? The bloody boat. Oh my God. The river is only so wide and we can go around it. Oh.
Does this boat... Were you looking for a boat that flies? I hear the gnomes make contraptions like that, but you ain't getting me on one of them.
I think by the time we get around there, we're not going to catch him.
All right, everybody. This has been a fun session tonight. Thank you guys for coming out and playing. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Everybody, and especially you, Wesley, stay safe. Be careful. Certainly
will try.
Yeah, there's things keep changing here. This week, I think it was actually yesterday, the governor finally said statewide kind of lockdown alert. Obviously, a lot of us have already been doing Florida. A lot of us have already been doing that. This is my third week now working from home. So
isn't the Florida National Guard at the border sitting there keeping people from coming in?
That I don't know. A few weeks ago, every day feels like a week with this thing.
Right.
So some time ago, he announced that, and I don't think there's any way they can actually enforce it, said anybody that travels into the state of Florida from the New York, New Jersey, tri-state area needs to self-quarantine for 14 days after they get here before they can have any contact with other people. I think that's been less than 2 weeks ago. So now he's gone ahead and issued an order to lock down. Everybody stay home unless you're, for the typical reasons, if you're having to go to the grocery store, if you're going to a doctor's office, if you're going to work as a person who works in an essential industry, healthcare, utilities, stuff like that. But everybody else just stay home. So we'll see.
Well, things have been so bad in New York that they have removed the restrictions of nursing license. You can't be licensed anywhere and go to New York and work. Louisiana just released that restriction last week, about 3 days ago. And California is expected to be next. And Florida's been hit pretty hard, especially around the South Beach area. All the snowbirds coming from New York have brought it with them. And they're expecting Florida to get probably to that level within the next week or so. It's just getting worse. It's not getting any better.
Yeah,
this ain't going away.
No, it's gonna run its course. If I remember correctly, the initial projections where they thought that, and I think this was in a where nothing was done and there was no vaccine, which I don't think is going to be available for another year or so. They would expect 40 to 80% of people would contract this. And then, of course, it's a matter of degrees. Some people will get it and never even know they got it. Some people will have to be hospitalized and in intensive care and may die from it. And some people will be somewhere in between. And I don't know enough about what's going on to even know what all those percentages are of what happens to each group.
Fatality rates averaging between 2.5% to 3%.
Which is extremely high compared to things like the flu, correct?
Yeah, the flu's 0.1, yeah.
So, that's like 20, 30 times higher.
So the place to watch is going to be Polk County, where the snowbirds live.
Yeah, well, and I think, like Wesley was saying, I think you're right because of snowbirds in South Beach, but also because you had all the spring breakers there. And they were coming from all over the country, and they were all congregating with each other, and of course going into all the bars and going to. So everybody who works in the hospitality industry there was coming into contact with all these people, and that's not to say that it had to come from somewhere else in the country to get here. There's tourists from all over the world that come to Florida, and they come into Miami, they come into Orlando, they come into Tampa, they come everywhere. So this could easily have gotten here by a person from Florida that had traveled overseas, or by some international visitor, or by some domestic tourist.
It was over.
So yeah,
it was over for Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. It was over for us as soon as Atlanta got it.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta International Airport's the busiest airport in the world.
Exactly.
Per capita.
B&A is an international airport.
It's the Georgia's. The Atlanta airport's the busiest airport in the world. It has more air traffic coming in.
Yeah, Hartsfield. Yeah, it's been that way for decades.
And so it's like a central hub for transport. So it's once it got there, it was over because it's going to be all over the.
Yeah, I think Delta Airlines, which is one of the largest airlines in the world, is based in Atlanta, if I recall correctly. So that's one of the reasons why Atlanta is so busy, is because that's their main hub, and then Delta has, arrangements with so many other airlines that everything interconnects. So yeah, it's
But what I'm saying here,
there's a lot of that air freight coming in. There's a lot of air that comes into Georgia.
it's the air people that spread it. It's the spring break. It's the traveling world that is the spread. But the risk for Florida is going to be Miami, and it's going to be Polk County, where the older people are.
Yeah.
So it's like the place to check out what is real would be the news in Polk County, because that's where it will matter the most. Yeah. Miami will just be confusing noise. It's a lot of different demographics are being expressed there. Sure. Polk County is where the victims of this thing are going to live.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean it as a derogative or attack on any individual group of people, but once it gets into the Mexican population or the South American populations, they have a tendency to congregate a lot. They have a tendency to be 4, 5, 10, 15 in a house. And they're going to spread it like wildfire. Once it gets into their community, it's going to spread like wildfire.
And that's Miami.
South and all the way into California. And that's why everybody says California's next, just because of the Mexican-American population there. They figure is going to spread it really, really fast.
But also
Texas. That's why Texas is having such a problem.
Yeah. You also have to think that these cities where it's a high density population, where you have a lot of high-rise residential, that just the simple fact that people can't avoid passing each other in corridors or being in an elevator or in the lobby of the building with each other, that's going to promote the spread in these little areas. So it doesn't surprise me that someplace like New York City has such a high level of cases, because just of that density of the population. And probably the same thing with places like LA and San Francisco and Chicago and maybe Houston and some of these others. Now Orlando has some very small amount of high-rise kind of dense population areas right downtown. As you know, Vern, in the last 10, 15 years, they built all those all those condos right downtown off of Church Street and Orange Avenue and everything.
What I just thought of when you said that was the I-4 eyesore. We got all these stupid buildings.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's meant as an office building, but
Hey guys, I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, hey, take care. Be safe, Michael. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Just be prepared. Keep yourself stocked at stuff that you need at the house, and wash your hands.
Oh, I am. Like I said, our company was a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of sending people home, at least compared to what a lot of places in Orlando were doing. We were one of the first people to send folks home.
But remind me, where did spring? Okay, so things happened. Orlando closed down, like your people. The theme parks closed down a little bit before that. There's 2 major spring break periods. Where did the spring break periods land in all that?
Well, early March, it was in South Beach in the Miami area. A little later in the month, they still went forward with Bike Week in Daytona. Okay. So, you have from some estimates, 100 to 200,000 motorcyclists descend on Daytona from all over the U.S. and potentially around the world. So
they were doing that while the parks were pulling out, basically.
Yeah, while the parks were starting to say, hey, we're going to shut down, that was going on. There was then there's also in the Panhandle area, Panama Beach, that's pretty popular with spring breakers, but I don't know. I was so focused on what was happening here locally that I wasn't really paying that much attention to what was happening in Panama Beach.
Well, there's 2 spring breaks. Basically, I think the Miami spring breaks are the same timing.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
So it's like they already had the first one.
Yeah.
Before this happened, or right at the point where this starts being a thing. And then it sounds like the second one got interrupted.
Yeah.
Except for the people who came to Daytona. Yeah. So when the parks pulled out, I am so unaffected by this because I already work at home. But I am watching news of all my friends in Orlando and news about medieval times people and all the people that I know. They're not really buzzing about this happened to somebody I know kind of things. So medieval times and related world seems to have pulled out on time.
Yeah.
Because in that industry, if people start getting hit, then everybody knows because it's an industry of emotion.
Right.
Well, the government was very slow to respond to this and still has been, and didn't enforce anything like they should have. It was very haphazard. Some companies were very aggressive with it. Some companies were very passive. Kind of like it's not going to happen to us attitude, or it's not going to be that bad, and it's turning out to be much worse than anybody thought it would.
Yeah, but as far as Orlando, it seems like they had the more defensive attitude. I was wondering if somebody wasn't going to try to cash in on everybody else closing, because it can be dog eat dog down there.
Oh yeah,
but apparently they did not, and the result is that the tourist world is safe but unemployed.
Right. Yeah, I work
and
for
that's always the judgment. And that's always a judgment you have to make is the economic impact. If this continues on for another 2 or 3 months, we're going to be in a recession. If it goes on for 6 months, we're going to be in a depression. I mean, it's going to get like 1930s kind of business.
Right. And that, in fact, it can affect what I left Orlando to do, because I left Orlando to work in the Seaverville, Gatlinburg area.
Yeah.
But if the whole map changes, then it's like, okay, what is my industry going to respond like? We'll be back. We know that we'll be back, but what shape and what form? And so it's like, maybe somebody with me with immersive theater experience ends up having to go back to Orlando to do the type of things that I'm one of the few people that know how to do.
Well, if you understand viral load, and it's a very complex subject, even a lot of nurses don't really understand it, but you can be exposed to, like, take an HIV patient, for instance. They say, oh, you can't get it from hugging them or touching them. Actually, you can. Your body will get exposed to it. Your layers of defense are sufficient to protect you from it.
Right.
It has to get into a sufficient load to cause you to serum convert to become to catch the disease.
So it's hard to catch it by touching, but it can be done.